Hello there. So in the last lecture we had created this profile screen for our application, and in this lecture we will start working on the profile functionality. So basically whenever the user enters some values, name, email and phone, and clicks on update, we will update the same in the DB. And the very first time that this profile screen loads, we will fetch the details for current user from the DB and display those details over here. So this we will cover in this current lecture, and in the next lecture we will work on updating the profile image. Alright, so let's get started with this. Okay, so first off, let's open the profile activity and let's close out all of the files if you have any of them open. Now, much of the interaction with Firebase would be similar to what we had in our sign up activity. So let's open the sign up activity as well. So I hope by now you know, like, pressing double shift and type sign up activity to go to this. So let's just copy some variables that we need: Firebase DB and Firebase auth for. Okay, now for the purpose of this profile activity we do not require the auth state listener, because we are right now we are not going to change the authentication state as such. Next we need all the input layout, edit text and progress layout fields, and press OK. Out of these we do not need password related fields, because that is not what we are going to support editing. We only have name, phone and email, three fields, so we have variables corresponding to those. Next up, within onCreate we will get these values using the find view by ID method. And since we don't have password, let's remove this, and we only have name TIR. Okay, right. Now we need these text change listeners also for three fields. Add them. We will create the method in a while, and also set the on-touch listener for the progress layout, so that the user won't be able to click it. Right, now we need this set text change listener also. So what we can actually do is put, put it in a utility file also, so that we don't have to sort of copy paste it each and every time. Let's just create a new utility class inside util method as maybe chat app utils, and paste the method over here, and instead of private we make it public static void like this, and here we can have chat app utils dot set text change listener, right? And we can copy paste the chat app utils for all the three fields, right? You, if you want, you can choose to refactor this class also, but let's move forward for now. So we have set all the set text change listeners and all, right? Here And now the first time that now when the profile screen is actually created, we want to uh, populate the user info or the profile info. Let's call it populate profile info. So this will basically fetch the data from our DB, Firebase DB, and populate them in our input fields. So within this, we want to first display the progress bar dot set visibility to view dot visible, and from our Firebase DB. Okay, before this, we also want to check whether the user is available or not. So for that, we create one more field as user ID. Okay, and the first thing that we check is if user ID, okay, we use the text utils from android.text dot is empty. So we haven't set it, so let's set it first. So if firebase auth dot get current user not equals null, then we find the user ID out of it, and firebase auth dot get current user dot get UID. But if the user ID is still not available, then we just finish this activity, we don't show it, right? So we have our user ID. Now we want to fetch the details from DB and populate in our on our screen. So we have Firebase DB dot collection, and that would be constants dot data users, then dot document as user ID dot get. So this will send the get call for details related to this user, and we need to add a couple of listeners so that we can handle the responses. So add on success listener, and this will give us a document snapshot. So we have document snapshot, and within this we try to fetch the user, and the user would be our model class. Okay, so to get the document snapshot to object, and we pass the object type user dot class. So once we have the document snapshot, we parse it to the user type that we have, and after this we set the values: name et dot set text, user dot get name, then email et dot set text, user dot get email, and finally phone et dot set text, user dot get phone. So since we have uh, successfully fetched the details and updated on our profile screen, so we can turn off the uh, progress layout. So progress layout dot set visibility to view dot gone. Okay, and then we need to add a failure listener also, and failure listener. So this will be similar to what we had earlier. So we print the failure exception in logs, and also make a toast message, and the message would be could not fetch profile details, length could be short and dot show, and we do not keep this activity, we just finish it so that we return back to the main activity in case of failures. Okay, now that we have populated the profile info, we would want to update it in case the user clicks on the update button. So let's start with that. So we display the progress layout as before, view.visible, and we fetch the details. String name equals newity dot text dot toString. So yeah, we need to add that check also, whether all the values are still available or not. So boolean proceed equals validate fields, let's say. Okay, and we create this method where we can copy the details from here. So we had these three fields that we need: name, phone, and email, and we return proceed. Okay, so if proceed, then we get all these values: string name, email, and phone. So email from email et and phone from phone et. Now once we have these values, we create a map of string to object, hash map, as map equals new hash map, and within this map we enter these values, or put these values to constant start data username to name. Then we need to enter email and phone, and values would be email and phone. Then we need to update it in the DB. So firebase.collection constants dot data users dot document as user ID dot update this map, and we need to add those listeners. On success listener, we have new on success listener as void. So on success, we just display a message to this, and profile updated successfully, short and show, and we finish this activity and go back to the main activity once it is updated, and add on failure listener also. So in this we can display a message to say that we could not update the profile. So profile update failed, and rest is fine. Let's get it to a new line, and in this case we come back to the profile screen and set profile progress layout visibility to view.gone. Right, so our update button should be functional now, Let's create, or let's implement the final method for on delete button. So yeah, I just cut it from bottom and put it on top so that the relevant methods stay together. Now in case of on delete, we want to ensure that the user actually wants to delete the account, because this is a destructive kind of action. So we want to make sure, or make double sure, that the user indeed want to do this and it's not a accidental click. So first off, let's display the progress layout to visible. Now we want to create a alert dialog. um, dot builder as this, dot set title, delete account, dot set message. This will delete your profile information. Are you sure? Then set positive button, so that means on click of yes. And let's leave it here for now and set the negative button first, because there we don't want to have much functionality. So in case of no, we create a new dialog interface dot on-click listener, and on click of no, what we do is we don't do anything and just go back to the profile screen. So set visibility true, gone, and dot show. So we show this alert box. Now we need to implement the positive button, or the when the user clicks on yes for this alert dialog. So again we have new dialog interface on click listener. So if the user clicks on yes, then we need to delete it. So firebase db dot collection constants dot data users dot document as user id dot delete, and we need to add the listeners. Add on success listener, we have new on success listener, and we just show a message. This is fine, and the message would be profile deleted successfully. Right. This is fine, and we finish the activity, so that we go back to main activity, and rather the failure listener. This would be similar to what we had earlier. We create a toast message, and it will say profile deletion failed, right? And we just remove the progress layout to set it gone, right? And that's it. We have positive button, negative button, and the rest of functionality. So that should be it. Let's try to run it and see what happens. Okay, so the app has launched after successful build. Let's go to the profile screen. So that's it is like it went to the Firebase DB and fetched all the details and displayed over here. Let's change the name to maybe test user, email, let it be, and add a couple of digits in the phone number and click on update. So it says profile updated successfully. Let's check the DB here. So this is our Firebase console. Let's go to the database. Okay, so we have the user here and name is now updated to test user and the phone number is also updated. Right, let's come back to this and back to profile. Let's try to delete. So here is our alert box. Let's click on no. So we are back to profile screen and let's click yes. So if you see in the background, the user was also deleted from our database. Let's reload the database. Yeah, so the collection itself has been deleted. So that is how Firebase deals with it. So when there is no record, it will delete the collection also, and whenever we try to insert a new record, it will create the collection again. Now if you see in the authentication, we still have both the users, so that is kind of a discrepancy, and we will work on that in upcoming lectures. So for now, this is it for this lecture. So thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.